Moyshe, is your contraption ready?
I think so.
Wonderful. Let's look at what Moyshe has done. It's amazing. Faculties that human beings possess. Each one of you in the audience tonight should be proud to know they possess such great skills. Critical thinking, speech, yes, all of them possess the same amazing faculties that Moyshe here possesses as well. Moyshe, are you ready to begin clapping?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful.
Who are you?
I'm the giraffe.
I'm in so much trouble. What's worse, I've gone completely insane.
Your parents don't need to find out about this.
They don't?
Of course not. In fact, I could get you a brand new cookie jar, just like the other one. Your parents won't know the difference.
Really? Do you mean it?
Well, of course I do. Has a giraffe ever lied to you before?
No.
Well, there you go. Here, have a cookie.
This is the most delicious cookie that I've ever eaten in my entire life. It is so good that I'm forced to reevaluate the purpose of my existence. Now that I've experienced the greatest possible sensation, I am forced to spend the rest of my life in search of a greater or equal sensation at the cost of everything, including my own health and safety. It's really, really good.
Feel better? How's that cookie treating you?
Really good.
How's school, huh? Get good grades?
Sometimes.
Here, take this out back and bury it 3 feet in the yard. Do the mourner's kaddish like a good little boy, and by the time you're done, the new jar will be ready, and you can have as many cookies as you want.
Really? Do you mean it?
I certainly do.
Oh boy!
If the giraffe was right, and giraffes usually are, then that means the cookie jar would be fixed, his parents would never find out, and his life would go back to the way it was.
Oh, I'm glad you're back. Come, look what I've done. You see? I brought you a brand new cookie jar, as promised, and exactly as it was before.
In fact, the cookie jar was 10 feet tall and glowing.
Something seems different about it.
Oh, that's just your eyes fooling you. Come, close your eyes and look at it again.
It looks the same.
Good! It's supposed to look the same.
Wait, no, this is all wrong.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna get in trouble for this.
Well, frankly, that's none of my concern. Have a safe day.
Hey, wait! Where are you going?
Me? Well, I live here. This is my home. You destroyed my last home, which was a pretty inconsiderate thing to do. But as you can see, I've built another one, so now there's really nothing to worry about. Good day.
Wait. What's it like in there?
What's it like? Well, shucks, I don't like to brag. Besides, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Tell me!
Well, to be honest, it's absolutely wonderful. It's unbelievable. Everything. Floor, ceiling, walls. It's all cookies. Cookies for miles around. Cookies ripe for the taking. And these aren't just regular cookies. No, sir. In there, they never go rotten. They never taste sour. They're the sweetest, most wonderful cookies anybody could possibly ever hope to eat. And it's all absolutely free.
Take me with you!
No. I couldn't possibly.
Please?
Well, I'm sorry, kid, but it just isn't done. A human in the cookie jar? That just doesn't make any sense.
Please, I hate it here. I hate going to school. I hate getting lectured by my parents every time I do something wrong, and this definitely counts as something wrong.
A human in the cookie jar? I don't know. The other animals might see you.
I'll be as quiet as a mouse.
Oh, all right, you can go. But I can't promise it'll go well. The other animals don't want to see you in there. If they knew that I let you in, it'd be my neck on the line. Do you understand? Okay. Well, I'm going in. You should wait out here for a few minutes, so nobody sees us coming in together. After that, you're on your own.
How long should I wait?
You'll know when it's time. Remember, if you get caught, I'm not sticking my neck out for you. If somebody sees you, my advice would be to run. Well, so. One more thing. Watch out for the rabbi. Yeah.
Mishka! Mishka! Mishka, I'm leaving forever and I'm never coming back. This is our last chance to be together, so I wanted to say goodbye. No, I can't take you with me. Remember that one time you ate cookies and you threw up all over the place? I'm sorry, but you can't come. But don't you see? There's gonna be a whole new life for me in there. I'm gonna be happy now. Don't you understand? Of course you don't. You're just a dumb, stupid cat. Well, I guess this is goodbye. Farewell.
don't go anywhere, it's not over yet. This is Act 2. When we last left off with Moyshe, he was entering a giant, mysterious cookie jar. And I'd like to make a general announcement. The action of Act 2 will be taking place inside of the cookie jar. Old dog playing the ukulele.
Excuse me, sir? Hello, excuse me? Hi, sir?
Hey?
Hi, I'm sorry. My name is Moyshe. I'm new here and,
What kind of animal are you?
An animal? I'm a cougar. Yeah, that's it, a cougar.
A cougar? You don't smell like a cougar.
Oh, what do I smell like?
Well, I'm not too sure. In all my years, I've never smelled an animal quite like you before.
Well, have you ever met a cougar before?
Well, I can't say that I have.
Well, there you go.
Well, pleased to meet you.
Sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir, hi. Moyshe again. This might sound a little silly, but do you know where I can find any cookies?
Cookies? You want to find cookies?
Yes, that would be great. Yes.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Have you tried looking over there?
Yes, that's where I came from.
Oh. Well, have you tried looking over there?
No, not yet.
Well, that's where I would look. You might find some cookies, but only if you really wanted to.
Where should I?
Try looking for a cookie tree. That's something you should know. I think there's one down there some ways. Now, just roll along now.
Oh, thank you very much. You sound great, by the way.
Much obliged.
Unattractive that behavior is to men. What's that? Oh, nothing, Miriam. That's your honking. One by one, she drives them away with that obnoxious honking of hers. And the more she's rejected, the louder she honks. It's a catch-22, really. I've been following her around to make sure nothing horrible happens to her in this awful place, even though it probably will.
So, you're her guardian?
I suppose you could call me her friend, her guardian, her sister, or whatever. I mean, what's the point of classifying relationships in this cosmic axe accident we call a universe. Relationships are complicated, intangible, arbitrary brackets we draw between two animals. Accepting an overarching definition about what you are just makes you a slave to the societally ingrained notions about how you ought to act around each other. Break the chains. It kills all the beauty in what two animals can have between each other. Reduces it all to a title, as though that explains everything. When in reality, it doesn't even scratch the surface. I mean, what's the point of putting ourselves into categories if it's all just gonna lead to failure? I mean, what's the point in anything? Hack! So, okay. What do you want, huh? I suppose you're looking for a mate too? Well, are you... excuse me. Are you interested in one of us? No. Oh, no, thank you. No.
I'm actually looking for a cookie tree.
Cookie tree? Yeah, that's right, Miriam, the cookie tree. Don't listen to her, she's crazy. So, what kind of animal are you, anyway? Oh, I got it, you're a monkey. You got those ears and your opposable thumbs? I want to see your thumbs. Come on, give me your hands. What a fine specimen. I bet you can grab all sorts of things with these thumbs. Hey, Miriam, come look at these hands. Yeah, I know where the cookie tree is. You do? Yeah. So what you're going to want to do is go straight that way. And that's it. That's where the cookie tree is.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
What a strange boy.
Yeah, nice fellow.
Did either of you two see a cougar come through here?
A cougar? That was a monkey.
That cougar lied to me.
Let's eat him. Sounds like a plan.
Eventually, Moyshe came upon a clearing in which situated the fabled cookie tree. It was huge and beautiful, majestic, and sported many colors, some of which Moyshe had never even seen before. It danced and swayed in the wind, alluring Moyshe, filling the entire clearing with the smell of fresh-baked cookies. In a trance, Moyshe approached the cookie tree.
Moyshe. What was that? Oh, Moyshe. Is somebody there? Oh, Moyshe, little Moyshe. Oh, Moyshe, little Moyshe. Oh, Moyshe, little Moyshe. Little Moyshe, little Moyshe. Moyshe, little Moyshe. Take me away. Take me away from here. I don't want to go to school anymore. Take me away. Take me away from here. I don't want to go to school anymore. Moyshe, Moyshe, little Moyshe. Moyshe, Moyshe, little Moyshe. Take Moyshe away. Moyshe, take Moyshe away from here. I don't want to go to school anymore. Take Moyshe away. Moyshe, take Moyshe away from here. I don't want to go to school Look over there.
Moyshe barely escaped with his life. He ran and ran and ran until he couldn't run anymore, until he came to a place that, although he had never been there before, felt strangely familiar. And then he saw an animal, a bunny to be precise. And although he had never seen her before in his life, he found her strangely comforting. And to his great delight, the bunny began to sing.
Der Gitl I cried. I'm very disappointed in you. I'm gonna go milk the cow now, and if you're not back to normal by the time I get back, I'm calling the rabbi.
The rabbi? No, wait. Mama? Mama? Mama, be quiet. What do you want to do? Let the whole town know? Can you be quiet, please? What has been done to my poor baby? What has been done to my poor son? All hope is lost. It's in God's hands now. We have to make do with what we have. Come, we have to get you to cater. We have to get you to school. Look what we have from your Aunt Pesha. A brand new coat. A fine new coat from Aunt Pesha. Look how beautiful it is. Let's get it on you.
She tried, poor woman, to get the coat on the boy, but it burst into flames!
Poor baby, poor son. But enough about the coat. It's in God's hands now. We'll have to find a way. Come, we have to get you to cater. We have to get you to school. Let's get you out the door.
She tried and tried, poor woman, to push the boy out the door, but he just wouldn't fit.
Oh, God, what have we done to deserve this cruelty? Since the day I was born, have I ever wished harm on another human being? Ever given another Jew the evil eye? I haven't done much, to be sure, but I've done enough to be good. I tried to give to charity when we had the means. God knows how rarely that's been, and with my luck, not good luck, but not bad luck either. We couldn't make do with what we had. But this is a tragedy beyond all comprehension. This is an 11th plague.
That's it. I'm calling the rabbi.
What did I do to deserve this? I have an uncle in Kasrilevska who has a house, and every year he holds a Seder. And one year my girlfriend Miriam came, but she hit her head on the coffee table. When she awoke, she had two enormous horns. This is my point. They look like antlers, I suppose. So maybe it's possible Moyshe dust his dreams the horns. Anything's possible. Tell me, what did I do to deserve this? Oh, what can I do to be free? Oh, what tragic fate has befallen my boy? Oh, when will he come back to me? A blessing on your house, Mrs. Pipik. A blessing on your boy. A blessing on your house, Mrs. Pipik. A blessing on your boy. God bless you.
I once went hunting outside. The middle of winter, the ground was covered in snow. Then out from the forest I spotted a deer, his antlers the size of the trunk of a tree. I set my rifle and shot the deer 4 times. But every bullet hit tree. So with those antlers are symbols of protection. That would be nice, but I admit they do look strange.
Tell me, what did I do to deserve this? Oh, what can I do to be free? Oh, what tragic fate could see the you that belongs to me. I wish I could see the you that belongs to me.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Pupik.
Oh, Rabbi! Thank God you've come. Maybe you, the holiest man in our village, can help to fix my precious boy.
We shall see, Mrs. Pupik, we shall see. As God said to Abraham, all things in their time.
Oh, thank you, Rabbi. Thank you.
So, where's the little pisher?
Right in here, Rabbi, right in his room with antlers the size of a dairy cow, no less.
You leave this to me. It'll be fine, Mrs. Pupik.
Thank you.
So, what happened to you?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Don't be so sure. I'm the rabbi. I've seen a lot of things in my lifetime. It's not as though this has never happened before.
Really?
Well, this has never happened before. But I've seen my fair share of unusual things. Enough to know that such things do occur.
Like what?
Well, there was the instance of the cobbler from Vitebsk.
Vitebsk?
Oh, yes. I used to be the rabbi of Vitebsk. Did you know that? One night, it must have been well past midnight, I awoke from my slumber to a frantic banging on my door. The banging was so loud that I thought it would wake up the whole neighborhood. So I got out of bed and I opened the door. Who do I find? It was the town cobbler, Len Polshevitsky, in a hysterical state like I had never seen him in before. Now, Len Polshevitsky was a wise man, a serious man, a fine, upstanding citizen of Vitebsk. But tonight he was restless and agitated. I knew something was the matter. Rabbi! Rabbi! He began shouting before I even had a chance to ask. The most terrible thing has happened to my wife! Well, what is it, I asked, genuinely curious to know. Rabbi, she's not the same, said the poor man. She's not the Gould I married. Oh, if only you could have seen her. She went out in the morning to buy a hen for Shabbos. Oh, did I mention it was Shabbos? She went out in the morning to buy a hen, but she never returned. All day, he says, all day I was sitting at home making shoes. So I know I should have seen her or heard her come in, but she never did. But at first I was angry, he says. I was waiting for my supper, and she was off doing God knows what, cavorting around with her friends and talking ill of me behind my back. Our relationship hasn't been well, Rabbi, but that's not the point, says Len. As the sky grew darker, I became more and more worried and distracted, so I stopped making shoes and I go out to wait for her. Now, he waits for her 1 and 2 and 3 hours, and then finally, in the dead of night, he sees her trudging up through the snow. Rabbi, he says to me, she wasn't the same. I could tell right away. How so? I asked the man. Well, she wasn't walking so much as she was loping, like a wounded wolf, and her eyes were transfixed on me, 2 glaring white dots coming out of her head. Golden! Golden! He calls, but no answer. He calls again. Golden! What's happened to you? Are you all right? She walks into the house. Poor Golda, covered with snow, her fragile young body still trembling from the cold. Len follows her in and shuts the door. There in the kitchen she stands, a pool of snow accumulating beneath her feet, and still she doesn't respond. Len cries, Len shakes the woman in desperation. Golda! Golda! Come back to me! Oh my Golda, what's the matter? When finally she met my gaze, he says, her eyes were as dead as the clouds. I tried to look into them, but they couldn't be penetrated, like the eyes of a dead animal. Oh, sorry. At this point, the man bursts into tears. She tried to respond, but all she could do was cough up a mess of blood and chicken feathers all over the floor. Oh, sorry.
What did you say?
What did I say? Well, I recommended they get a divorce.
Oh, my head.
Don't ask stupid questions, my boy. You'll get a stupid answer. Well, seriously now, in all seriousness now. Tell me what happened. Hey, tell me what happened. Okay, you want your mom and dad to fuss over you like this forever? Come on, tell me what happened so I can make it better. All the kids in the world. It's only for you. Only for you.
I just wanted one cookie. I never expected it to turn out like this. And then the jar slipped and it crashed, and then I went in the cookie jar and Mishka was all evil, and now I have antlers. I just want to go back to my old life. I want to go back to school.
Shut. Wait, you said something about a rabbit?
Giraffe. Although, there was a rabbit. How did you know?
Did the giraffe bring you into the cookie jar?
Yes. Well, no. He practically begged me not to go.
Oh, that's what I thought. Oh, no. He wanted you to go in. He was just playing mind games with you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I've seen this before. You're lucky I came in time. I once knew a little girl who was pulled into an icebox by a hippopotamus. She never made it. Up. Come on, get out of bed. Come on, up. Give me a hand here, please. Thank you. All right. Arms up. Spin around for me. Yep. You've got antlers, all right. Moyshe, unlike with humans, when an animal does something, there's almost always a reason behind it. I would have to say you were selfish. You took too many cookies, and your antlers represent your overabundance, your greed, weighing you down and preventing you from getting out of the door. I hate to say it, but this sounds like a just punishment for you. Nevertheless, your mom and dad brought me here to fix you, so it is my job to fix you. But I gotta tell you, you're still going to have to suffer the consequences.
I already have, Rabbi.
No, you have not. There's only one way to fix you, Moyshe. Cookies are the problem, so cookies are the solution. Get your shovel, Moyshe. We're going outside. Pupik. Your boy is fine.
Oh, can I see him?
You better let him rest for now.
Is he normal?
As regular as the Sabbath, Red Pupik. Good as new.
Oh, Rabbi! Oh, thank you! Thank you!
Okay, that's enough, Mrs. Pupik. That's good.
How can we ever repay you?
That's not necessary.
Yes, tell us what we can do.
Would you like a new coat? Or maybe some fine jewelry?
It's one of a kind.
No. I couldn't take your jewels. They must be so dear to you.
Oh, honestly, they're not. We just got them from Pesha yesterday.
Oh, how is Pesha, by the way?
She lived a good life. What can I say? 1 minute you're here, the next minute, all that's left is your wallet. Well, you know what they say, you can't take it with you. And thank God for that, because then there'd be nothing left for the rest of us.
Well, how about this? Instead of you repaying me personally, why don't you throw a big mitzvah for the whole town?
Yeah, like what?
I know. Tonight is the Sabbath. Why don't you two celebrate your son's miraculous recovery by hosting a big Shabbos dinner for the whole town?
Only if you'll be there, Rabbi.
Of course, and I'll bring the whole town with me.
Oh! I'll make matzo ball soup.
That sounds delicious, Mrs. Pupik, but I'm afraid I must be going. May I just say that you have a lovely house and a most charming family. I trust that by the boy in good condition. And like I said, you should let him rest for now in a very fragile state. I'll see you tonight, Red Pupik. Farewell, Mrs. Pupik. Huh? Farewell. Farewell.
What are you doing in my kitchen? Get out! Get out! Get out! An empty kitchen. Now it's Mrs. Pupik's time to shine. I'd cook you up some bacon. It's not kosher, but I would, because you're my boy. I'd cook you all the shellfish in the sea. I'd roast a plate of vultures. They're not kosher, but I would, because you're my boy. If you would only eat those vultures with me, I'd cook for you from any oven. I'd use a broken spatula too. I'd cook with all my tender loving if you would just allow me to sit down and eat with you. Oh, can I eat with you? I'd make you bread on Pesach. It's not kosher, but I would, because you're my boy. And then on New Year's, cast it into the lake. Until you die, I'd feed you ham on every Yom Kippur, because you're my boy. On Tisha B'Av, you'd get a birthday cake. I'd let a monkey die of typhoid and let its organs rot away and serve it up with gorgonzola. If only I could hear you say that you would eat with me. Oh, won't you eat with me? Is that so much to ask? There's no food I wouldn't make, no oyster that's too tripe to bake, hawk or eagle, young or old, a locust or a calf of gold, a suckling pig, a bowl of blood, a cow that doesn't chew her cud, jellyfish, electric eel, a cruelly murdered slab of veal, barracuda from the bone, a rock-hard pig, large ice cream cone, a chicken egg with teeth inside, no matter how the chicken died, a hive of bees, a plague of lice, a donkey's milk with hail for ice, eyeball of an ocelot, a beaver that consumption got, a pigeon neck that isn't clean, a pickle peel right nostril spleen, a dark spelunky chocolate bite, the scraps of an oblation side. I cook them all, I cook them all, I cook them all for you. I cook them all, I cook them all, I cook them all for you. I cook them all, I cook them all, I cook them all for you. Well, once in Deuteronomy The Torah forbids to cook a kid in its own mother's milk. So now we can't have any milk with any kind of meat, including the kids. The Talmud frowns upon things of that ilk. But if it meant I'd get you back, boy, I'd make 'em one enormous stew. The kid and mom alone together, if it would just allow me to. Sit down and eat with you. Oh, can I eat with you? Oh, can I please eat with you? Oh, yeah, can I eat with you? Oh, can I eat with you? Dinner's ready! Molly! Get in here! Thank you so much. Thank you. It's so Rabbi, everyone take your seats, take your seats. Rabbi, would you do us the honors, please?
Certainly. Vayehi erech, vayehi voker yom hashishi, vaychulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'hol tzevam, vaychol Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Vayvorech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto, ki bo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei piri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kadsho ba'ava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu lahavta, yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'mikra.
Cha-cha-cha!
V'shtat koshela, ve'ala uvratzon, inkaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat.
I'd like to propose a toast to the rabbi. Rabbi, thank you. No, Rabbi, thank you.
It's not
You are
necessary.
truly a servant of God.
He's too kind. He's too
Our
kind.
village is
Not too
honored, privileged, blessed even to have such a rabbi. Now you all know about the mysterious, tragic fate that has befallen our son. You all know about it? some of you have seen it with your own eyes. But ladies and gentlemen, this rabbi has done the impossible. I myself looked into the boy's room this morning, and he was absolutely fine. Sleeping peaceful boyish dreams. And he looked just as healthy as he did on the day of his bar mitzvah.
A fine day. We all remember it fondly.
Rabbi, let me tell you this. You are living proof that God's miracles can be done. You are the bastion of our town. You are our protector, our provider, and our prophet. And for this, Rabbi, we thank you. To the Rabbi.
To the Rabbi!
Thank you all.
Speech.
Well, what can I say? I'm not one for speeches. Oh. All right. There's a story about a little town called Giraffe. It's a small town, a few miles from here, over by the lake. A poor town, where there lived a humble fisherman who lived there and fed the village with his fish. But the town was so poor, no one could barely find anything to eat at all. Times were desperate. Women and children were dying. Some of the men went crazy with hunger and left their families to die. And who did they all blame? The fishermen. Why can't you catch any fish? They'd ask him. And it's true. There weren't many fish to begin with, but for the last 3 Shabbosim there were none at all. Not one fish could the poor fishermen catch, and the town starved, almost to death. Their numbers dwindled from hundreds to only a few dozen, and still no fish came. Gradually the fisherman's own wife, who had once been so beautiful and healthy and pure, got ill and went into convulsions, and he had to stay by her bedside at all times. He prayed to God every night for her health, but there was no response. Her condition only got worse. And one night, before she died, she turned to her husband, her hand in his, and she told him, "Tonight, before you go to bed, pray for fish instead." Well, the man told her no. He was going to pray for her health, and that's final. But she grabbed his arm in a sudden burst of strength, and she commanded him, "Pray for fish!" And then she fainted from exhaustion. So he did. That night he prayed for fish. And the next morning when he went fishing, to his great surprise, he caught a trout. It was the biggest, most beautiful trout he had ever seen. 3 times the size of a normal trout. Plump and juicy and full of life. The man was ecstatic. He took it up and all at once and carried it back to his house to share with his wife. But when he set it on the table and he started to carve, he heard the voice of God, loud and clear. He heard it in his head. One word. Tzedakah. Charity. The man pled with God. "Please, my wife is dying. Can't I give her just a bite of this trout?" And God spoke again, this time even louder than before, and it was still the same vexing word. Tzedakah. Charity. So the man took the fish, cut it up into small pieces, put them in his basket, and went into town, sharing a piece with each hungry person in the town. And miraculously, the amount of fish never seemed to dwindle. There was enough to feed everybody twice over, and the townspeople rejoiced, for he had saved them all. It was a miracle. But that night, when he got back, he found his wife dead, perished of starvation in her own bed, and he cursed God, saying, "Why have you done this to me, God? What did I do to deserve this cruel treatment?" And God spoke again, this time even louder and clearer than before. "Tzedakah." But I have no more fish left," said the man. "And besides, the town isn't even hungry anymore. I fed them all." "Tzedakah," was the response. So the man gathered up the fishing pole in tears, still mourning the death of his beautiful young wife. He went out to the shore in the dead of night. And what do you think he caught? A giant gefilte fish! Bigger than this table. No, even bigger than this room. And the man was astonished. He looked up at this lumbering beast of the sea, unable to believe his eyes. And suddenly, This Leviathan opened up its huge mouth, opened it big and wide, and out stepped his wife. Not just alive, but healthy again, and beautiful, and naked, and pure. She had become the queen of the Sabbath, Shabbat HaMelka. And he embraced her in a state of astonishment and ecstasy. And so, arm in arm, together, they hopped on the back of the giant gefilte fish and rolled it all the way over to Eretz Yisrael, the promised land, where they lived happily ever after. And tonight, Mrs. Pupik has generously prepared this feast, just like the fishermen, to celebrate God's divine plan. And for performing this act of charity, this mitzvah tzedakah, she deserves all the credit in the world. So, here's to Mrs. Pupik, the provider of the town.
To Mrs. Pupik!
God works in mysterious ways, but if you perform his mitzvah, make sacrifices, and do what he tells you to do, you too can be ushered with open arms into the promised land. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This looks wonderful.
Moyshe, why don't you come and join us? The meal's just started.
No, I think I'm gonna go study.
Well, I too would like to make a toast. To our son Moyshe, clean, studious, and most of all,